Yes, thank you, sir. And I have three very similar questions, and I know the Deputy Higgins is not here either. So, government high level, we have four main issues, sir, and that is to keep people healthy on the island, a roof over their heads, make sure they get food and supplies, and then that will save lives. Now we're working with the Landlord Association, the Housing Minister, the courts. There will be no evictions over the next 3 months. The courts are not sitting. A letter from your landlord is not an eviction. And if the press want to get a good media statement out there, do that now. Rent will be covered as usual if you're on income support. I just want to extend this slightly, sir. People are telling me that we haven't, I'm not answering enough questions. I've got teams have been moved to get a one-page income support form to be filled in so that people who do get money. Are we acting quick enough? Can all of you remember what you were doing New Year's Eve? That was the first report from the World Health Organization of Corona. And then everyone packed up and took the disease home with them. People keep telling me we're at war. You cannot see this enemy, sir. People brought it home, they put it in their suitcase, in the planes, and they took it right into their front doors and into their families. Now, testing will not stop it. I don't get it, sir. We want to keep our families safe, and I'm doing these high level. Health is main important. Roof over the head, food, medicine. And as the doctor said, we need to tell the community that we can get these things to them. They have to know. I'm surprised Deputy Ward had to ask. I treat everyone I meet as possibly got it, and members of my family, because that is absolutely right message. Don't think you're safe.
Minister, if I could just ask you to bring that particular answer to a close. I'm sure there'll be other questions.
I'm saying to States members, yes, we are, but I've got staff under pressure and I'm trying to be pulled across. I'm trying to ask States members, when the people ring you, try to reassure them, tell them the only way to keep this at bay. I do it, sir. I have a picture of my family, small family, and I think of them every day. If I don't do the right things, I might lose one of them. I can only process it like that and ask the rest of the island to do it. But big stuff. Keep you healthy. Keep you in your home. Make sure you're fed and make sure you get medicines.
Well, so I have to stop you. The question is about the payment of rent and the steps that are being taken, and we've gone a wide way beyond that. And I know members want to ask questions. Deputy Pershard.
There we go.
Thank you, sir. Could the Minister clarify something that she said in her response just now regarding evictions? She stated that no evictions would occur over the next 3 months. Was she referring specifically to evictions from state-owned housing companies? And if not, was she suggesting that if individuals don't pay rent to private landlords, that they will not be evicted?
Myself and the Housing Minister are working closely with landlords, and the courts are not sitting. The only way to actually process an eviction is through the Petty Debts Court. People may still receive a letter saying this is a letter of eviction. The message we are getting out there. There's also, I think, some urgent legislation coming through the Housing Minister's nodding. We're all doing so much. I can't keep up with everything that everyone else is doing, but these measures are powers that no. And I'm asking people not even to send the letter. People are worried out there. So we've got that. And banks are writing to people with mortgages to give them a holiday. So yes, that's what I'm saying. There will be no evictions.
Supplementary question, yes.
Thank you. again, just for the purposes of really making it clear, if an individual cannot pay their rent due to a knock-on effect of the coronavirus, for example, they may have been laid off because the restaurant they worked at is shut down, what measures are in place from Social Security to support them so that they are able to either pay their rent or be excused from paying their rent?
Well, it depends on which different schemes. But what I am saying is, we have made a plea to everybody. If your tenant can't pay the rent, legally you can't evict them. But morally, would you put someone out on the streets of Jersey when the coronavirus is around? Would you do it? Would any landlord here do it? Because you've got to keep them healthy. So we are appealing to landlords. And when that person, hopefully they may even work for you, they might be living in your accommodation. And if and when we get back to work, the rent will be paid. We're trying a massive package, there's money. We are into the rainy day fund. We're trying to support with money as much as we can.
Okay. Well, Deputy Gardner.
Thank you, sir. Would Minister advise if we are going to implement legislation on it will stay as a guidance? For example, what consideration will be given to bringing a temporary rent cap via legislation to ensure at least minimum income for some owners, landlords that need to pay maybe mortgages, and smaller number paid out to ensure a roof kept over somebody's head? Legislation via guidance.
Well, there is some legislation, extra powers coming, but again, if you're renting a house out that you have got a mortgage on, I'm told the banks are contacting everybody to give the mortgage owner a 3-month holiday. Not saying that's the answer, and these are things. What I'm saying, I am having constant public states members want answers yesterday, and it's 12 weeks since the first case of corona on New Year's Eve came out from the World Health Organization. It's worldwide. Everybody wants an answer yesterday. We're not moving quick enough. 2 weeks ago, the most important thing in this assembly, I think, was a day on buses, and that's what it was then. But we're getting the answers. Big policy things. Cannot pull the officers off who are working 24/7. And they're going to fall over. I've got staff. I've moved a load of staff to try. Income support form will look like this. It's one side of A4. You can do it online. No bank statements. It's got to be quick, and we've got to get money to people. So could be your rent. We're giving you money to pay rent, you will be paying rent. A majority of it will come through our offices anyway. Landlords will get the direct rent.
Right. Deputy Sullivan.